you are, welcome back. This is the FLSUN Super Racer. It's a Delta-style 3D printer with an impressive feature set. And as the name implies, it prints fast.
I want to go fast.
This printer was born on a live stream almost a year ago.
It seemed like assembly was easy, and I think that's indicative of most Delta 3D printers.
And in that time, I've finally been able to get some prints done on it to give you an idea of what I think about it. So why don't we do that? Let's go over the feature set. Let me show you what I did with it, and then why don't we come to a conclusion? Now, this is a Delta style 3D printer, which means rather than a moving bed and an X carriage, you have 3 arms attached to 3 rails, and they all move independently to position this end, the effector, anywhere within the given build volume. And the build volume itself is interesting as well because it's not an X, Y, and Z or Z. It is a round build plate. And it has a height, so you get a diameter and you get a Z height. It's a cylinder. It's like a barrel or a Coke can. So this build plate is 260 millimeters in diameter, and it's a coated glass surface, and the machine will print things 330 millimeters tall. Each of the 3 arms attached to 3 different linear rails on the side. A 0.4 millimeter nozzle is what it uses to print with, and it'll go up to 260C. It's PTFE lined. That is Bowden fed from a Bondtech style extruder, and that actually gets its filament from a filament sensor in the path. Up front, there is a 3.5-inch capacitive touchscreen, and it's got a coiled wire on it so you can position it in places, which means you can take it off the machine or put it back on the machine. And here's what's really interesting. This magnet repositions here, so you can actually put this wherever it's comfortable for you.
That's rad.
The machine does auto level, and it uses a little sensor that you attach to the head. It attaches with a magnet, and it's actually kept in that drawer right there. Print quality on the FLSUN Super Racer is actually pretty decent, and it's actually decent when it's going fast. The castle in a hand printed in MatterHacker's Quantum PLA looks out of this world. It's incredible. I did encounter some issues with print-in-place parts. Either the filament itself was too brittle, or the tolerances weren't correct and pieces were fused together. The octopus, however, did complete, and it looks amazing, absolutely amazing. This is easily one of my favorite prints in recent memory. Tolerances eventually did get dialed in, and the twist container works just fine, and the little JBV Creative dual twisty thing works fine as well. It's not all unicorn farts and rainbows. There are some things that FLSUN should address on this machine. At the very top of the list is the PTFE tube. I had to change this more than once because of jams. Jams would happen at the end of the PTFE, and there was molten filament in the PTFE, and for some reason, it just couldn't cool the hot end fast enough, or it couldn't create that break in the heat between the hot zone and the cool zone, or whatever. I don't know exactly what was going on in there, but it jammed more often than I would like, and having to replace this multiple times in the span of which I've used it, I think is unacceptable.
2 thumbs down.
PTFE aside, there's no flex plate on this machine. I had a time getting prints off of this build plate, and eventually what we did is put some sort of interface layer down, such as magic goo or glue stick or hairspray or whatever, but still, in the year 2022, why are we still shipping printers with build plates that hold on too darn much? It doesn't make any sense. Why? And before you start yelling at me, this is my personal experience with the machine. If you have a different experience and it works, congratulations. I wish I had your experience, but I did not. Prints hold on to this plate too much, and it should ship with a flex plate. In the end, Delta machines, they're a lot of fun to own. This one specifically was a bunch of fun to use, even though I did have some problems with it. There's a spool holder on top that you might not be able to see from this view, but what I did is put it on a shelf, and then I fed the material from a rep box and a PTFE tube down to it. So it worked out really, really well. Deltas are neat. You do get that height, and typically spools go on top, so as long as you have enough Z in your house, you should be fine to use a Delta 3D printer. The FLSUN Super Racer, it is speedy, and it can print pretty well. I do like that it has filament detection, and I really like the fact that you can auto level with that sensor that you attach via a magnet to the end. In my experience, having to replace the PTFE tube more than once in the limited time that I use this machine really is the nail in the coffin. There's a lot of great features on the FLSUN Super Racer. There's a lot of great prints that I've seen done and that I was able to do on the FLSUN Super Racer, but in the end, for longevity, it doesn't really pass the bar. And so, print quality aside, the repair and the need for me to replace that tube just kills it, and so I can't recommend this machine. What do you think? Do you disagree with me? Sometimes that happens. If you do, leave a comment down below. I'd love to have a conversation. But this is my review of the FLSUN Super Racer. No money changed hands. They didn't get to see this before I published it, and you are seeing it at the same time that they are, for the first time. If you made this far, you're awesome. Don't forget to hug each other more, fight for a cause you believe in. And as always, high five.